What's going on, everybody? It's Matt, aka Lumberjack Landlord, here with Mike Zuber from One Rental at a Time for a second Friday installment. Mike, it's Friday. How's it going?
Hey man, it's every day Saturday. What are you talking about Friday?
Every day Saturday. Damn it. Someday, Mike. Someday. So what I wanted to talk to you about in this one, even though we just lit the world on fire with the real estate versus crypto calculator, and I'm looking forward to all of the hate mail. But again, showing great ideas. Wanted to talk in this one about, hey, even the pros lose, right?
Yep.
We are the first ones to tell people where we win, but we also, what I'm most proud of is we're the first ones to tell people where we lose.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, and so I always want to just be transparent with your audience, with my audience, with anybody that's watching. Hey, you can absolutely lose at real estate. You can lose a deal. You can not structure it properly. And to start off, this one completely falls on my shoulders. I have done a disservice to the One Rental at a Time community. That's why I must share this and hang my head in shame. Because that's how bad it is. It's embarrassing, but I will learn through my embarrassment.
That's okay. All right.
So
I'm intrigued now. I'm also a little confused.
It's so flipping embarrassing.
Oh no.
Yeah, we're gonna share it just because if this can save just one other people from looking like a complete and total lumberjack ass, then we want to do that.
Okay, good.
So here's the deal. So I was approached by a broker about 60 days ago. You and I talked very briefly about this deal, but I was approached by a broker about 60 days ago about two duplexes next to each other. They don't share a lot. They only share a lot line.
Okay, got it.
So nice, still completely on their own, but it's a nice package deal too at the same time. Okay. Owners bought these. They were very smart in their mid 20s. They actually bought these two duplexes. They've owned them for about 20 years.
Nice.
And the appreciation in our town in that 20 years, I want to say that combined, they might've paid 250, 260, and they're worth, or my offer was 650.
Not a bad deal.
Yeah, substantial for them. So in the always interest in the pursuit of trying to do off-market deals, packaging, bundling, trying to get creative, they said, hey, we have somebody, then when they talk to this agent, we have somebody, a friend of ours, that's offered us 600K, but it's basically it has to get financed and inspections and all that other stuff. Do you have a better option? Okay. So I go and I look at the properties. The properties are B+ class neighborhood, B- class, B class property. Okay. Older, but needs some work, but in decent condition overall. Okay. So I put together the numbers. I actually set up time with them to go talk to a CPA because they don't have one.
Okay.
I explained to them and I fully document the seller note process. Yeah. Because they've got about $400,000 of equity. Okay. $450,000 of equity. Okay. Okay. So my offer again was 650. They have about $200,000 is all they owe because they took out a little bit of money over time, but they still only owe about 200K. Okay. So my offer was 650. I offered them I would go to the bank. I would get the bank to I gave them two options. One is you can take all 450 of the loan. I will give you a 5% 10-year note where I pay you 5% a month every month for 10 years. Okay. And then you get your 5% a month every month for 10 years. Yep. Which is about $2,000 a month. Yep. And so about, $24,000 a year of income. Yep. Interest income. Sure. And then they would still get their $450,000 on the back end after that 10 years is up. Okay. So they say, okay, we're interested. They come back and they say, don't want to carry the full 450, but we'll do 200 that way. Cause that was my second option to them. You can also do 200. And then I come up with the other 250 basically. So you guys only carry a note on 200K. Got it. Okay. So they're taking a seller note for 200. I'm then getting into the deal for 450, which the bank obviously is going to finance 350 of that. And I'm going to put about 100 in. Got it. Okay. So the bank's in for 350. They're in for 2. I'm in for the balance. Got it. So we kind of go down that path, set up the time with the CPA. She is a full-fledged CPA.
Okay.
Okay. I know because I got the bill.
Yeah.
So it was $240 for 1 hour.
Yeah. That sounds like a CPA.
About
Okay.
right. Yep. So she reviews it. She talks to them, and silly me, she did not know all of the bonuses and all of the value in seller financing.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. 100% my fault. I thought that they might have taught this in CPA school. They did not.
They did not. No.
They did not.
No.
So I then talk to her and I say, okay, so how'd it go? She gives me some of the details. I said, all right, sounds good. Do they understand that that is a financial instrument, that that's a note that they're getting from me, that they can sell that note at any time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And she would have known this if she'd taken your course.
Yes.
on rental
I have a
time.
whole section on it. Yeah.
A whole section on notes, right?
Yeah. I actually have a CPA giving you the deets on how to do it. That's funny.
Blow my brains out.
Oh no.
Freaking hell.
I'm sorry.
So anyway, it gets more embarrassing from here. Don't worry.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. So they had that conversation. She goes, oh, I actually hadn't thought of that. I'm like, what the
Strike one.
Damn it. So then I put together the email. I talked to the agent. I put everything together, hand it off to her. Then she sends that over to the person. Second mistake I recognize that I made. They would not give me access to the seller.
They're playing Heisman. Okay.
They would not give me access to the seller. She was the broker brokering the deal, and that's fine. She was still going to get paid. But I made the mistake of not insisting and making sure that I was dealing directly with the decision maker in this case.
Yeah, you weren't playing telephone with money. Yep. Okay, got
Playing
it.
telephone money. Again, second mistake.
Strike two.
100% me. Yep. Then the third one was that I find out that the wife and the husband, that he has a traveling job, that he wasn't in the meeting with his wife, with the CPA.
Oh no.
So she was telephoning to him what the CPA was saying.
Who was misinformed or uninformed.
Correct.
Oh, this, yeah.
So
Score.
then, if it was possible to strike out with a fourth strike, I also hit that one of those too.
Yeah, great.
So I didn't get access to the seller. I let them use a CPA on my dime that didn't really understand exactly seller financing. And telephone between the husband and or the wife and the husband on exactly what happened in that meeting, not insisting and saying, I'll pay for it, but you've got to both be there.
Right. Because
because I want all questions being asked and answered coming out of that meeting, which I thought I did, but I didn't require it with a document. I should have.
Okay.
And then the last and final was we get them that proposal over and they said, okay, my husband's going to be home in a week. When he gets home, I will sit down, we'll discuss it with him, and then we'll give you an answer. I said, okay, sounds good. That week passes, give them an extra few days. I reach out, touch base with the broker. I was like, hey, any updates on this? She's like, let me reach out. She reaches out. She's like, yeah, they're working through the numbers, blah, blah, blah. Another week passes. I've touched base a couple times. We all know what's happening at this point. I'm getting shocked hard.
Yeah.
And they're arguing about a level of indecision because they don't understand the tenants. I get the confirming email that they don't understand the tenets of seller financing because they send me an email saying, we like this deal, but we want to be first in line. So Mike, describe first in line.
Yeah, first in line is basically first, if you don't pay, who can foreclose first, right? And again, that in most of the cases, certainly at least in this deal structure, a bank was going to come in for the most, so they would have been a second, at least as I understood the initial architecture. You could have done other things, but that's probably how that deal was structured.
Yep, agreed. And so the other opportunity there is you can't be on the hook for only 200 of the 650 and be first in line. You can't. That's why I said the offer at the 450 side, that's why you got that offer, was because now you're first in line. You can foreclose on me in a second.
Yeah.
Anytime you want. You just have to be the majority equity holder if you want to be first in line. And a bank is not going to take a second to anybody unless it's being set up as a second.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you could have done. I mean, one of the interesting things, and we had never talked about this, so this is just
Yeah.
off the top of my head,
Sure.
because there are two separate properties. One interesting idea could have been
Yep.
go to a bank for property one,
Yep.
get an 80% LTV. Again, if they're worth 300, that means you get a check or you get 240.
Mhm.
The 240 pays off the whole loan. So banks won first here, and then you get them to do the 200 on first on the second property. Right? That could have been interesting.
This is why I suck.
Oh, okay.
And this is why I still watch one rental at a time.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I just have to drive past this stupid freaking property all the freaking time because I own 3 others within like 2 blocks of it.
Oh, it's gonna
So
be
now
a
every single
wound.
time I see this stupid son of a bitch, I'm gonna have to seriously.
Yeah,
Ugh.
that's again the biggest mistake was not getting access to this. All
100%.
the other everything hurt, but if you would have had access, we could have had a conversation and we could
Yes.
have put this deal together.
100%. And so I literally hadn't heard in like another week, and I'm like, they've got to have made a decision at this point. And I guess she basically went into the broker's office and said, I like the deal. My husband doesn't want to do it. He wants all of his money up front. And I had explained all of the tax ramifications.
Oh, they're gonna get crushed.
Crushed, Mike.
Yeah, so let's
So
just do the
talk- so walk
basic
through
math.
that.
Yeah,
Walk
so
through that,
two
yeah.
so 240 on a
Yep.
600. That means they made 340. Let's say they had some this or that. So let's say they made 300 grand.
Yes.
And I don't know their tax bracket, but let's assume it's a 20%. Actually, you know what? That 300 grand
It's
is
got
actually going to take them higher because that'll take them to they'll be rich in this
Yeah.
current, climate. They'll be over 400.
Won't it be cap gains?
Yeah, but it'll be the richy rich cap gains, right? If you make over 400 grand, it's like full income, right? They're talking about. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it could be whatever your state, actually, you don't have state, whatever federal. So best case, it's 20%. Worst case, it's like 37 or
Right.
39. And
Right.
then they pay depreciation recapture, which they've owned it for 20 years. So that's got to be another 200 grand in depreciation, which is like 13%. So they're going to pay another, they're going to pay 80 grand in taxes. Oh,
Yep.
and they didn't have to.
Nope.
Nope. They didn't have to.
Nope.
Oh, well, that's
Yep.
going to hurt. Ooh, when they file their taxes next year, that wife's going to look at the husband going, this is on you.
Yeah. I'm actually,
You
gonna-
write the check.
I'm gonna park my trailer, my 14-foot trailer in front of their house with a big, huge sign that says "Thank you" from the IRS.
Thank you from the IRS. Yeah, because again, they're going to walk out of that meeting with, I don't know, 280 grand, and
Yes.
80 grand of that's going to go to the IRS. And I hope they save it, because if they don't realize they're going to owe the IRS a huge check,
Massive.
man, I can tell you, I've written several checks in my career to the IRS for over 100 grand. It is not fun.
No, it's the worst check you'd ever have to
After
write.
I paid them.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the worst check you ever have to write because you don't get anything for it. You don't even get a thank you.
Yeah.
You don't even get a thank you.
You get audited. That's what you
Yeah,
get. You
exactly.
get audited.
So I wanted to share this because A, super embarrassing. B, this is why experts still need to watch the program, even though you've done a bunch.
Yeah.
There's still stuff to learn. I completely flat out made mistakes in this deal, and I didn't need to.
Yeah.
And they were completely 100% avoidable. And at the end of the day, I'm on the thing that really bugs me the most about this deal is I lose, but they lost so heavily because they just didn't want to listen.
Yeah.
They just didn't. I mean, literally, I'm telling the agent, I'm like, you have no idea. They have no idea. They don't understand. They're opening themselves up to an $80,000+ tax bill.
Yeah. I should have given you that video. I mean, even if you couldn't get Bob Langworthy on the phone, who's the CPA that's in my course that did that, you have the video.
Yeah.
We should have just watch this 18-minute video, because it goes through all the tax. He does a breakdown of somebody in their situation, just the gargantuan check they're going to have to write.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, on to the next one.
No use crying over spilled milk. Well, I'm already on to the next one, Mike. We covered that in video 1.
Yes, you're already doing a deal. I love it.
Mike, thanks so much. Tell everybody where they can find you, my friend.
One rental at a time. Books,
Yes.
website, YouTube. See, I did it that time.
Yes.
It's such a new book. I forget.
But it's so good.
Oh yeah, people are loving it. I would every time you write a book, you're like, I don't know if people are going to get it. I tried something new. So far, everybody's happy. I like it.
Now, real quickly, I need to do this, which is had I thoroughly gone through all that is in your course of one rental at a time, how one rental at a time works.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't have made a couple of those mistakes.
Yep.
I would have been more insistent, more rude.
Yeah.
If that's possible for me. And
yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Next time we'll find out.
Exactly.
But I should have got, that was the biggest issue is I should have gotten in front of them. I should have had that conversation directly with them. And I shouldn't have assumed that accountants know what they're talking about when it comes to this.
Yeah, that hurt, but it was the objections that, right. Yeah.
Lost to objections, but I thought I'd set myself up nicely to deal with them and I hadn't. So the weakest link in the chain broke and I didn't get that deal. So as always, guys, my huge, colossal, massive error is here for your enjoyment. And please don't follow the same ills that I did and take Mike's course. It's literally, I mean, a $300 course, I would have paid $10,000 to somebody that could have rescued this deal for me and been like, go get me this deal, go fix it.
Yeah.
Go get me this deal, go fix it. Because the return on capital was ridiculous. The yield on this deal was absolutely fantastic. And they were going to carry a bunch of that paper.
Yeah, I love seller carry. Yeah.
Yes. I want to love it as much as you do, but that level of love only comes from having done it as many times.
Yeah. When you have millions of bucks in owner carry, it's pretty cool.
So we answer questions like this, 11:30 Eastern time this Sunday. We answer questions like this. We'll talk through it. I am there for your filleting because I deserve it. It was horrible. But yeah, here to answer questions. We always create tons of awesome content for you. Please subscribe, hit that like button, and feel free to comment below and take your shot because I completely screwed it up. And even though I am an alleged expert, I still flubbed it. So
that's okay.
Mike, thanks very much for the time. Looking forward to segment 3.
Yep.
Thanks.